This is going to be fun. You can delight your Valentine with a real gift from the heart. A heart that's baked with love. And Julia Usher is author of Ultimate Cookies. They are eye-catching, whimsical designs that will wow the special people in your life all year round. Good morning.
Thank you. Great to be here. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. You know, you and I have been corresponding for quite a while. I'm so glad you're finally here. Your cookies are truly masterpieces.
Thank you.
I mean, really, if you're taking a look at this, you have to tell us first, where did you learn to do this?
Well, I would say it started with my mom, because every Christmas we get in the kitchen and we do a lot of Christmas cookie decorating. But then I owned a bakery for some time in St. Louis, which is where I'm from, and then it just escalated from there. So now I decorate for all seasons. And I'm with you. I think there's nothing better as a Valentine's gift than something handcrafted with love and care. And these are examples of that. So.
Perfect examples. And the question I have, because I'm not as crafty, are these designs something that's doable for everybody?
I hope so. That's the intent with the book. The book is a cookie decorating book, and it starts with about 15 foundational techniques that really lay the groundwork, and then it ends with a bunch of projects which are maybe a little bit more complicated, but they put it all together. Today we're focusing on 3 to 4 really easy techniques. They're all on these cookies that are doable by kids and doable if you have no artistic talent, which is why I really like them.
We have a lot of mommies out there that want to do fun things with their kids, and this is one of the best ideas I could think of. And we want to show some examples first of some of your designs, because you have so many great ones. Let's just take some pictures and look at some of the things that are in the book. This is what we're looking at right now. Of course, this is Valentine.
There's some marbled ones at the top, and that's the first technique I'm going to show. And then those big red hearts in the middle are stenciled. We're going to show those today as well.
Amazing. And what is this?
And that's a easy Valentine's gift. Very plain iced cookies that are tumbled into a jar. I call it love letters, because there's a little secret love message spelled out within the cookies.
I love it.
And those are place cards made out of cookies. Not Valentine's Day, but you could change the colors out and put those on a Valentine's tabletop.
Or you could use them for, I would think, a bridal shower. They'd be great.
Similar concept. That's for Easter. I've taken that place card and just made it, adapted it to a different season.
I love this, and oh my gosh, look at how springy, and that just makes me think of spring.
2 cookies, actually brownie in the pot.
Brownie in the pot.
Cookies, sugar cookies that are glued with icing.
It's like heaven on your eyes and in your tummy. I love that. So, so show me how some of this is done.
Great. Well, I'm going to show this marbling technique first that you see on that half of the cookie.
Yes.
And I work with a royal icing, which is just confectioner's sugar and egg whites. I love it because it's fast drying, which is particularly important with marbling, because the colors, they go down wet next to each other. And you want them to dry rather quickly so that the colors don't bleed together. So I'm going to start the marbling technique by just top coating. This is creating a really smooth top coat on the icing, and all I'm using is a really, this is actually a craft paintbrush with the bristles broken off. I discovered it worked really well for spreading icing. So no real fancy tools required here. The key, though, is having the icing at the right consistency. And here I've got it somewhat loose. So my basic recipe is 2 pounds of powdered sugar and 5 egg whites, or pasteurized egg whites. That mixes up very, very thick, and to that I add some water to get it to this consistency.
And most people have that already in their house, so that's great.
So I'm going to let you top coat your half. I'm just going to do half of it to do half the marbled.
This is so cool.
And I've got a little thicker royal icing in these parchment pastry cones. You can also use plastic baggies, and that's going to be the color I apply on top. And in this particular pattern, I'm just doing some half hearts around here, and then we're going to draw a skewer through it, which is going to create that marbly pattern. The thing about marbling is, even if your lines aren't perfectly straight, I'm going to pass these over to you to do. It doesn't matter, because it's very forgiving. Once you draw that skewer through it, you can mask most errors.
You have to have a steady hand, though.
Sort of. You see I'm steadying the tip of the the cone with that.
See, I already messed it up a little bit.
And what I'm going to do is just draw the skewer through. In this case, I'm drawing perpendicular to the lines I just drew, and it creates this really swirly
that's how you do that. Oh my gosh, that is so cool.
All sorts of patterns.
I love this. I could do this all day.
So that's marbling.
That's how you marble. So that's the answer.
And that's 1/2 of that cookie. And then I'd add a solid block over here to complete it, and then a little outline around the outside.
See, I already messed up this part. I'm not that good at it.
That's okay. I'm going to move to some cookies that are already iced.
Yeah,
so that might be.
And then I'm going to try this after.
Okay. Next technique is stenciling. Love it, because no artistic ability.
Stenciling.
So cookie stencils used to be just a thing of the hardware store.
Yes.
Or home decor store, but now you can get them online just about anywhere.
Yeah, you really can.
And they're sized to fit particular cookies. In this case, this one's a heart one.
They're not expensive either.
No, not at all. This one's sized exactly to fit this cookie. So I'm using royal icing again. It's just a contrasting color.
Okay.
The key here is just to have a steady hand. So I often take the same skewer that I used to marble with to steady the stencil.
Okay.
Let's hope this works.
Oh, wow.
And then my icing's a little thicker than what you just used to top coat. I don't need very much. It just needs to be the thickness of the stencil, and I'll spread it on top.
Okay.
Ideally one swipe. You know, as few swipes as possible over the top, because you don't want to see, here I am swiping it every which way. You don't want to see all the marks from the spatula.
Right, right.
And this is a small offset spatula I'm using, meaning that the handle's at an angle to the blade.
Gotcha. Okay, so it's easier to handle.
Yeah, you don't wrap your knuckles on the table. And then I've spread it and I lift it off. And
oh my gosh, you make it look so easy.
that was pretty easy.
That is fun.
So if you want to try it on a light color cookie. And I'm going to move that over here. And while you're doing that, I'll move on to another technique. You can use these, like again, oops, not that way.
No, I want to do that way. This way.
But you want to make sure the back side doesn't have icing on it because it'll smudge your cookie.
Okay.
Every 2 or 3 stencils, I need to clean it off.
This is amazing. And by the way, while you're doing that, I want to ask
there.
you, okay, so these are some of the tools. So basically, the paintbrush without the bristles.
Yeah, because the bristles spread every which way. I like to use a broken paintbrush to spread the icing, one with no bristles. Offset spatula for stenciling.
Okay, another tool.
Trussing needle, which I use for marbling, or you can use a toothpick just as well. If you don't have these, I like these because I clean them and reuse them.
Very easy.
And then for wafer papering, if we have the chance to do that, which is adhering edible paper to the cookies, I paste it down with a little bit of corn syrup, and so I have a sponge brush for that.
Perfect. Okay, so this final technique that we can do in this segment will be what?
I'm going to do rubber stamping.
Oh, fun.
Okay, again, no artistic ability required. Here, the only key thing is to find an ink pad that has not been inked, because of course you just want food coloring on it.
Exactly.
So this one originally came plain. I squeezed some soft gel, which is very concentrated food coloring on it, and blotted it.
That's it?
And then you just stamp the same way you would normally. The key here is the cookie coat, that top coat needs to be thoroughly dry or you'll crack the cookie. So I usually let it dry overnight.
Yeah, don't crack the cookie.
And then I've inked my stamp, and now I'm going to put it on here, and you need to be somewhat careful about pressing all over it, because when the cookie icing dries, it sort of leaves a divot in the middle. It's not completely flat. So I'm applying a little more pressure in the middle than I might be.
That makes sense. Okay.
Anywhere else.
Got it.
And there you go.
Look how pretty. It's amazing. This is so fabulous.
That's pretty easy. And this is the same cookie. I've just applied a simple royal icing border, a little zigzag border, and dots.
And you know what I love is that all of this art is edible.
It's edible. It is.
Edible art. And we're going to talk when we come back about how people can find you and meet you and get that amazing book. We'll be right back. Don't go away. I'm going to keep trying. I'm working it out.
Okay, you should be done by now.
I know. I'm not that good.
When it's dark out.
I was trying to put the lips on my cookie to kiss, but it didn't work out. I was like messy lipstick. Now I want to remind all our viewers how they can meet you.
Yes, I'm doing a number of events in the area. I have an book signing tonight, actually at Bookworks, which is here in town.
Fabulous.
And then I'm off to Portales to do a cooking class midweek, and then Saturday I'm back in Santa Fe at Las Cosas Cooking School for a cooking class.
And how can people get the book?
Online, of course, but I also advocate going to your independent bookseller like Bookworks and checking it out there. They have a good inventory of the books. So.
Fabulous. Julia, thank you so much. This was such a treat.
Thanks for having me.
Really,
Happy Valentine's Day.
Such a treat. Happy Valentine's Day. And thanks to all of today's guests. We hope you all have a wonderful, loving, romantic, sweet, happy Valentine's Day. And thank you so much for watching. For anything you need to know about today's show, you can log on to our website at casa.com, and we'll see you early in the morning.
Yeah, see you then. Have a great day.
Bye, everybody.
Those are pretty cool.
I love it.